Hello there. I'm Keith, and this is my dad, Kerwin. Our guests this episode are Alex and Mollie Damon. If you're a Star Wars fan, you know them from Star Wars Explained, the premier source for anything and everything Star Wars. Their review of analysis on the films, TV series, books, comics, and games are seen and heard throughout the world. They regularly appear on the Star Wars Celebration stage and the media circuit. It's our pleasure to welcome Mr. Alex and Miss Mollie to Father.Son.Galaxy.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. That was a great introduction.
That was great. Yeah. You make us sound way cooler than we are.
Talk to my dad.
Yeah, no, we are big fans. We were so excited to meet you in person at Celebration last year. So just a little bit of a story. We were sitting in front of you, and then I just so happened to turn around and I saw you both behind us. And I said to Keith, Keith, it's Alex and Mollie behind us. Keith said, where? so it was pretty. Yeah, you remember that?
Yes. But still.
Yeah, it's a good story. No, it's a good story to tell. It's just like we know who you are. We're big fans. You put a program together where all ages can sit and enjoy and listen to. So we really appreciate having you in this community and being a part of this community, and sharing this moment with you. So thank you once again for being a guest.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you again so much for having us. We were excited to meet you at Celebration as well. And I remember just being so impressed with all the stuff you had to hand out, like information. Every year before Celebration, Mollie's like, we should have something like that.
Cards or something.
We're always too late. So you're very professional and on the ball there.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, we really appreciate it. So what we do is when we having these conversations, we always like to start from the beginning. So the question to both of you is, tell us about your childhood and what are some of your favorite childhood memories?
That's such an open-ended question.
Where do I begin?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me, honestly, to remember life before Star Wars. That came into my life when I was in first grade. I think I was 7 or 8. I think I was into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before that, and Power Rangers. Those were kind of my two big fandoms before Star Wars that I can recall.
Yeah, I was pretty big into Power Rangers. I was a tomboy growing up for the longest time, so I had a pretty close-knit group of girlfriends, but I also hung out with a bunch of boys in my neighborhood, and they got me into skateboarding and tomboy stuff. So that was fun. It was nice to have my girlfriends and then my guy friends, and Star Wars was kind of a mixture of both of those groups for me. But yeah, I remember being into Power Rangers. Sailor Moon was a big one. I loved Sailor Moon growing up. And Star Wars was kind of a part of my fandom and life, but not nearly as much as it is now. Once I met Alex, I was like, oh, I can get more into this, a lot more into this.
Once my parents introduced me to Star Wars, I kind of dropped everything else. I don't think they definitely didn't know what they were doing, because before that I was very much like, oh yeah, I enjoy Ninja Turtles, and they had a great toy line that I liked collecting. Same with Power Rangers, but I definitely didn't have that same level growing up in my younger years as I did for Star Wars.
Yeah.
How were you introduced to Star Wars?
Right, Alex, you just said that your father introduced you to Star Wars?
Yeah, I mean, both of my parents.
Your parents, okay.
Yeah, I remember it had to have been 95 or so. It was the year before the Olympics were in Atlanta, which is where we're from. And they built the Centennial Olympic Park. And so my parents and we went down there and we're just checking it out. And for some reason, I suspect it's because Dragon Con was probably happening, which is a big Atlanta convention that we now go to every year. But someone was walking around in a Darth Vader costume.
It's like on Hollywood Boulevard when there's just people in costume walking around to take pictures with.
But this was a legit Darth Vader costume. And so it just grabbed my attention. Maybe I had seen him before or not. I don't think I had, but I was like, Dad, who is that? And he's like, oh, that's Darth Vader, and started to tell me about who he was. And I was like, I would love to see those movies. And he was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you're probably old enough. So they had them taped off of TBS. So we went home and I watched Star Wars for the first time, and then just like kept on watching that tape, just immediately fell in love with it and watched it until that tape died. And then they went out and got like the full box set. I don't remember when they told me there were more Star Wars movies, but they let me go for a while just thinking they were like, let's see how long he'll just watch this one and how much mileage we can get out of it.
And then they said, oh, there's 2 more.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So your first watch was A New Hope? Was that your first Star Wars film that you saw?
Yes.
A New Hope.
That was 2 years or so before the special edition came out. So the original, whatever the cut was that they played on TBS.
Yeah, commercials and all.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have a vivid memory of the first time I saw Star Wars, but I know that my parents had the gold box set of the original trilogy, and I'm sure I saw A New Hope first, but it was probably, again, with the guys that I hung out with in my neighborhood, they were like really into nerdy stuff like comic books and video games, and Star Wars was definitely one of those things. So I remember watching it with them for the first time, and then it was like I forget what year episode 1 comes out now.
99.
1999.
Yes. And so in 99, I do vividly remember going to see The Phantom Menace with all my friends, because we were 11, 12 then, and perfect time for that kind of Star Wars for me. I loved episode 1 when it first came out, and I remember getting out of the theater after that movie and like seeing a lot of people with very mixed emotions, very mixed feelings about the movie, and I was just like, that was really fun. That was great. Loved it.
I always say that I guess we're just the perfect age to be Star Wars fans, because we got to see the originals, and then 2 years after I learned about that was the special edition. So then I got to see them all in a theater, and in the midst of that, I was getting into the books, and Shadows of the Empire came out, and then a couple years after that, we got the prequels, and yeah, we were 12, so I had zero reservations about the prequels. I was just like, more Star Wars, this is awesome. So I never felt like I got to or had to go through any of the negative side of the prequels when that reaction was happening. It was just fun for us.
Yeah.
Honestly, me neither, because again, born in 2011, so like literally none of this was happening. And also, I didn't watch the news or have a tablet.
Right.
So I didn't see any of this news about the new Force Awakens and all this new stuff that came out. So I just saw the first 6 films, and that was it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. The being a kid and not having the news, or like we didn't have the internet back then, so it was just kind of
Not having a biased opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember reading the newspaper, and I was like, I want to see what they had to say about the new movie. And I read it. I was like, well, they don't know what they're talking about. And like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Keith is right. You know, his first introduction to Star Wars was through the little golden books. You know, I tell this story a lot, so he's heard it a million
Here we
times.
go.
I'm going to just keep it short. But yeah, so Keith was introduced.
Let me give you the short version.
Yes, why
Dad
don't you
went
go
to
ahead?
Barnes and Nobles,
Yes.
saw the golden books, bought the golden books, gave me the golden books. Here we are.
Right, and then you wanted to watch Star Wars, and then that's how it got started.
Here we are.
Right. All right. Here we are. All right.
Cut to us doing a podcast about
Yep.
it.
There you go.
Live.
Right, exactly.
They're
Yeah.
not live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Was it Star Wars that brought you two together? How did you two meet?
no, we just met at a Halloween costume party.
Yeah, it was so funny because we actually had a a friend in common. We didn't know each other, but we had a friend who told us about this Halloween party that our friend was putting together. And she was like, I was nervous to go because it was a bunch of people that I didn't really know at the time. But she was like, you should totally go. It'll be fun. So I went. I did bring one of my girlfriends with me, and Alex was there. And I met Alex and all of his friends that were also there. And it was amazing after that because like our friend groups kind of merged together after that. And we all started hanging out as a group. And a couple months later, we were dating.
Yeah, Star Wars wasn't really a part of our relationship for a while. I mean, it was college, and so at that point, I was so busy. I was not keeping up with the Clone Wars as it was coming out. Star Wars had been, over since I graduated high school. That was the Revenge of the Sith, and it came out the same year I graduated. And then I was like, okay, I'm going off to college, and that's what I was focused on. But eventually, Star Wars just kind of kept on bleeding into our conversations in our lives, or I think it was that Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was when we had the Star Wars Trivial Pursuit game, the old one, right? And I think one night we were just like, let's play this. Let's give it a shot. And Alex was like, I got to warn you, I'm really good at this. And it ended up just basically him playing by himself. Like he kept winning like every single question. And I was like, I didn't know you knew this much about Star Wars. Like I knew he knew a lot about Star Wars and liked it, but I had no idea the amount of trivia in this man's head at the time. So that just like befuddled me. I was like, oh my God.
We need to do this so I can win every single round.
No, I don't think so. You wouldn't be able to beat me.
How about this, Dad?
Well,
for every round,
you know what?
Each person gets $1, and I will have $100, and you will have $0 by the end of the game.
Well, you know what? I'll have to take that back a little bit because there's so much Star Wars.
Yeah,
now.
You think?
Right, because you're more of the Clone Wars expert, right? I love the original trilogy. We're somewhere in the middle when it comes to everything else, but
even the small facts.
Yeah, well, you would beat me if it was just Clone Wars because I have not seen all the Clone Wars episodes.
If it wasn't just Clone
I don't think so. I no, sorry.
Yeah, for you.
Okay. No, well, actually, find the gold box 1996 edition of Star Wars Trivial Pursuit. That was like one of the first things that had questions about episode 1 in it, which was like the big selling point for me. That's the game that we played. So that would be a good challenge for Keith. I think it's all original trilogy and a little bit of prequel stuff.
Right.
But you know what happened? Like once we got the Clone Wars, then the entire portal for animated shows just decided to present itself at the moment. And then television shows even stopped being animated because a lot of it's live action now. And almost all of it's still animated, but still. That's how we got to all the Star Wars television shows we have today. Because if you think about it, we haven't had a movie in the past 4 years.
Yeah. Hopefully
everything else has been TV shows, you know, The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and we got new stuff coming up like Ahsoka and Lando. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we actually get that Lando show because we haven't heard anything about it since this announcement. And Andor,
true, right? Yeah,
and Kenobi. Gonna list them all. No, I'm kidding.
Honestly, I'm ready for another like long animated series. We got the Clone Wars, then we got Rebels. I'm ready for something else to come along. And
what do they do though?
I don't know.
Well, what do you mean a long one? Like Bad Batches?
Well, Bad Batch feels kind of more like a spin-off. I just mean something completely new.
Like new animation style, new art style, all that.
Yeah, like throw it into the future, or let's go way back into the Old Republic times, or even the High Republic. I mean, I know we're getting the Young Jedi series. I don't know how long that's going to be, but I'm like ready for a new animated show.
No, though, good point. We haven't gone into the future much. Like we've explored everything up to the point of the Rise of Skywalker, unless you count the Lego specials and like a little bit of knowledge after that. but we haven't really gotten to know much else about the future of this Star Wars galaxy.
True. Yeah.
So, like, if we just kick it forward to like 20 years 20 years after the last battle, like the Battle of Exegol, wouldn't that be just kind of awesome to see where the galaxy is now with no First Order? And also, I kind of just want the galaxy to be at peace, because every time something good happens, everyone else just decides, all right, time to form another legion of stormtroopers.
Right. But
Right. Yeah.
there are people out there who don't want peace. And I think that's the reason why you have these armies appear, out of the blue, and they want to take over the galaxy for whatever reason.
But just like dealing with small groups, like petty things on like a single planet, just to keep the show grounded. Like focus on a couple of people's lives on this one planet, things that happen, things they run into, maybe a little space exploration, but like just something that's not so direly tied to the future of the galaxy.
Got it.
Yeah. That's kind of like what's going on in the High Republic now. If we're talking phase 2, which is going backwards even further.
Kind of smaller stakes.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, Keith. I got tired in the old books and comics. They just kept on introducing more and more super weapons, where it's like we had a Death Star and a second one, and this one's just the Death Star's super laser, and the Sun Crusher blows up entire solar systems, and
Starkiller Base should have just been Death Star 3, because all they did was take a snowy planet and say, let's strap a laser right around the middle, and here we go, and that blew up too. I don't know whose idea it was to build giant floating space stations with the same single weakness, but like they exploded.
Yeah.
3 times.
Okay. You have the next question.
I know.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about Star Wars Explained. How did the podcast start? Or, web series, I guess you could call it, start. And why'd you pick Star Wars of all things? Although we kind of know that.
That would have been funny if we decided to do a channel about anything else.
On a whim. It's kind of a mixture of a bunch of things. So I would say the initial thing that sparked it was me studying for Dragon Con, like I mentioned, and my love for trivia. Dragon Con has a trivia contest every year, and I would enter and I would do okay, but I would never win. And so I thought, if I just studied, then I would probably be able to win this thing. And so my idea for studying was to make very short videos about different topics, just to kind of get it stuck into my head, reacquaint myself with some of the old storylines that had slipped my mind. So I started doing that. At the time, I was working at a digital marketing agency. So I was already doing video marketing, and I kind of knew my stuff. But I feel like I had the idea for the channel for a couple years because of the YouTuber Comics Explained, who used to be Marvel Explained. And I saw that he was just talking about stuff that he knew about and loved. And I was like, I knew I could do that for Star Wars. I just dragged my feet on it and finally started, and people responded to it very quickly. So that's why it all started.
Yeah, and we started out as Star Wars Minute, and all of the videos were short, little like bite-size videos, because I remember you wanted to give other people what you wished had been out there to study for, like little, short, straight to the point videos about characters or planets or stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of Star Wars YouTube at the time, when I would go to study and search for things, it would turn back great videos, but they were like 45 minutes long on a single topic. And I was like, I don't have time to watch this. So I was like, I just want to get the basics. And so I will read the basics. I'll write them down. I'll record them. I'll put them out. So they were just about getting the basics of some lore or topic out there.
Yeah.
So you got to watch your own videos to study?
No, I don't think I've ever done that. But the process of reading,
I have.
Yeah. The process of reading and then writing it and then recording it and then editing it, I would go over the same information like 4 or 5 times. So by then it was pretty well in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done that before.
We started doing, I don't remember when we started doing the Q&As. You started doing them, and then I slowly would pop in every once in a while, and I wanted to be part of the channel, and I started out just doing all the social media stuff for the channel, and then I started popping into the Q&As, and then I started answering things in the Q&As, because at first I would think I was just asking you the questions, but yeah, now I'm here. Now I know a lot about Star Wars, and I love it. It's such a cool universe to play in all the time, and I feel like Star Wars is constantly teaching me new things, and yeah, it's great.
Do you think you today could have taken me in Trivial Pursuit 12 years ago?
Oh yeah.
I think you could too.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. So, Mr. Alex, you are a Legos fan just like me. You know, I don't know if you've seen, but I also have the Razor Crest. I got the Daily Bugle. Got a lot of good stuff, especially Marvel sets. But I do need some more Star Wars sets. Dad.
Get on that, Kerwin.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. Crack open your wallet. Come on.
Yes. And your question is?
So, what was your favorite model to build?
Probably the Falcon, the big Millennium Falcon set.
Wow. Okay.
You built that?
Yeah. It
tell us
took
about
us 16 weeks or so. Because we
yeah.
build them on stream 1 week at a time, like every Thursday.
Mhm.
We just sit and we build and we chat. So it was spread out, but it took a good 16 weeks, I think, to build. So that just felt really nice to finish that.
I bet if I had the time to, it would take me like a week or so to finish it.
Well, how many pieces were there, Alex, in the build?
8,000 or so.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in there.
Because we probably would
How
have
many
finished it
thousand?
quicker if we weren't doing it just once,
For sure, yeah.
once a week
Yeah.
for an hour or two. But
Did
what'd
you
you
say
say,
8,000
8,000?
pieces?
That'd be my guess. It's around there.
Okay. Mhm. Wow. Okay.
It was
I
a lot
laugh.
of like little detail pieces, but it was a really fun build. Had some kind of fun surprises inside. Just a big sense of accomplishment to finish something like that.
Mhm.
Are there stickers?
Yeah.
Oh no.
You don't like the stickers either? I hate Lego
No.
stickers,
The
but Molly
stickers
loves
are
them.
the single most annoying part of Legos because
Could not
firstly,
agree more.
if you like drink water or something, and all of a sudden your cup of water tends to, by accident or not on accident, fall over onto the stickers and they're all wet, you can't use any of those stickers. Or if your hands are wet because you just washed them after eating dinner and you go to build with your Legos and your wet hands ruin the adhesive on all the stickers. Can't use them
no.
there either.
I feel like Lego's probably cool enough to send you replacement stickers, but that might
Yeah,
take a
they
long
do.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it takes like 2 weeks. Like
Yeah.
I ordered a bunch of pieces. It was a Thor wig and replacement pieces for the Stormbreaker from that set with Gore, Mighty Thor, and Thor from Love and Thunder. Cause long story short, lost them. So I ordered them. Don't you know that was a month ago? And I'm
Still waiting.
still waiting.
So-
No disrespect to Lego, because they're great.
Yeah.
I love Lego. That Lego is my childhood.
Well, the Falcon that you put is it still together? The Falcon that you
Please tell me
created?
it's still
Yes.
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in
Great.
his office, which is just over there. I was going to say I don't have any Lego sets in my office, but I do have a little Grogu over there that I did love to build.
We have Grogu. It's not the same one, but it's
Mhm. The brickheads,
the
right?
brickheads.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, I have him. He sits on my desk all the time.
That's Molly never really played with Legos growing up, and now she has started to get her own sets to build
Nice.
that are non-Star Wars ones even.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad, you know what we should do?
What's that?
Like, we should buy all of the Ultimate Series, Ultimate Collector's Series sets and just build them all
Okay. Well,
and just destroy my grade average
right.
and just build every day.
Yeah. Well, okay. Now that you bring that up, right? You are the best Lego builder I've ever seen. You are.
But you've only seen one.
Well, you've been
That
building
doesn't really
from.
mean anything.
No. I'm talking about over
I'm
time. You know, you've built so many, models, and I am not a Lego person. I'm trying to learn. I'm still slow at it, right? But I guess the more I do it, the better I'll get with it. So, Molly, when did you start putting Legos together?
To be honest, I probably didn't start really putting my own sets together until well into the pandemic, because that's about when we started doing the Lego streams. And so I would like build alongside with him, but I was like more excited to just like organize the pieces for him. And I do like the stickers. I enjoy trying to get the stickers on there like exactly right.
Which is I can't do it. So I'm happy to pass them to you, and then you get them looking great, and I'm like, yes, that's
But Dad, you should do that.
Yeah, I never thought
You're
of that.
precise. I mean, like, you're a banker. You gotta be precise.
Okay.
So
we can try it. Well,
you could put the stickers on for me.
Yeah. I know we do a Lego build, right? And it would be nice if we can build something that takes very little time to do, like from beginning to end. If I do it, it's going to take hours. But if you do it, it can take just
But I just
few
need
minutes.
you to put the stickers on.
Exactly. So my point is, yes. So maybe you should be the person who is building it, and then I can come, behind you and
apply stickers.
Apply the stickers, so that is completed and done within a good short period of time.
Wait, but that's not fair though, because you don't get to do anything.
Well, I know, but we'll see. We're working that out.
These together, Dad.
Yes, that's right. We're working it out. Like I said, I need to just pick up my speed on this. I'm not a Legos fan. I'm learning now.
When you learn how to build with Legos, it gets easier.
Yes.
Remember, I was 4 years old. My first.
So you know what Keith is doing. The more Legos we buy, the better off I'll be. But so the idea is just to buy more Legos.
Yeah.
Keep buying Legos.
My first set was like a junior set, and it was a bunch of people. Still remember it. It was like a city. There was a mail truck, and this person carrying the mail, and like a lift arm that I still have. And then I got this awesome tow truck and the Obi-Wan Star Interceptor. Yeah. My point is,
a lot. Yeah.
It gets harder and harder, but yet easier and easier as you move on.
I believe
like you buy harder
I will
sets,
keep trying,
but building gets easier.
Yep. I feel like I'm still pretty bad at it. And like I'll get to the end of a bag of Legos and the end of the book, and I'll have too many extra pieces, and I'm like, I know I missed a bunch of stuff, and I have to go searching back through. Find what I missed, take it apart, put it back together. That happens every week.
Because we do it on stream, it's like you'll get distracted by talking about a question or something like that. And then I think that maybe leads to you maybe missing more pieces than you normally would.
Probably.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Eternals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the ship.
You can explain it. Yeah.
Can you reach that thing?
No. Well, if I move, okay, all right. We're all organized. All right.
I didn't know.
We'll see if we can go back and get that.
I'm gonna try.
Okay. What is it that you want to talk about with the Eternals?
It's the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I built the ship. It's like 1,000 pieces.
Yes.
And it was actually pretty fun, but it's a very complex build. Right here. Got it.
Oh yeah, the little triangle ship. Okay.
Cool.
They have the domo, and they're all still inside.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, you probably have to take one out. Yeah. So there you go. Right.
Guess who that is?
Okay. I'm not familiar with the Eternals. Okay. Cersei? I don't know.
No, if you can guess one of these people correctly, I will give you $10,000.
Oh, okay. And that's not going to happen.
Guess who this is?
I don't know.
Guess.
Green Arrow.
It's from DC.
Yeah, I know.
That's a man.
All right. So I have
Green Arrow's an adult. That's a child.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
So, Alex, when I first heard about you, as Star Wars Explained, I heard about you through Schmoedown. Can you talk about Schmoedown, your experience with Schmoedown? What is it, and how you participated in Schmoedown?
Yeah, the movie Trivia Schmodown was a online YouTube trivia competition that was about. They had different leagues, and one of them was all movies. One of them was inner geekdom movies, so basically any fandom, like Marvel, DC, Harry Potter, Star Trek, Star Wars, but then they also had a Star Wars specific league. And I got to know some of the people who were part of the Schmoedown because they did a live show at Star Wars Celebration 2017. And so I just found them and said, hey, and expressed some interest. And so then they checked me out. We started to talk and we got to know one another. And then I guess it was 2018 was my first match. And then we just started playing, and I was the champion for a while. I was their longest reigning champion until I lost the belt in 2022. Was that last year or was it 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
21?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish we had a picture of the belt though. The belt was really cool,
Yeah.
and it was always a fun conversation starter in our house. People were like, "Why do you have a wrestling belt?"
You got a belt?
Yeah, that was the reward. Yeah.
Instead of like a trophy, you got like a big wrestling style belt.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah. So the Schmoedown is set up like a wrestling. You've never seen wrestling. We
No.
don't watch wrestling, but
I don't.
right. It's set up like a match. Like you have this person versus this person, and you battle to see who answers the most trivia questions.
So like
regarding-
Blook It.
Who?
Blook It.
What's Blook It?
You know what Kahoot is, right?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, just
I don't know if
explain
this is
it.
going to be helpful, but Blook It is Kahoot if it went to the gym every day.
Okay. All right.
So
That
basically,
doesn't help me.
Blook It
Okay.
has like 15 different game modes. You can pick
Okay.
game modes. One of them is Battle Royale. And basically,
okay.
it's two
Okay.
people
Well,
showing down against each other.
that's
You have
exactly
to
what it
answer
is.
questions with the fastest speed.
Mhm.
And then whoever answers it first or gets it correct gets points.
Right. Battle Royale. That's a term used in wrestling.
I don't
Right.
like Battle Royale in any sense.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I only play Lucky Blocks in Minecraft.
right. So I'm curious about that. So when did you start Star Wars Explained? Were you when you were participating in Schmoedown? Was Star Wars Explained had already begun your
Yes,
channel? Or okay,
I started it in 2015. Technically, I started working on it in 2014, but 2015 was when we put out our first video. So it'd been about 3 years.
okay. Because I want to say that you are, you and Molly are very popular, and you want to know how popular you are. I listen to quite a few podcasters, and a majority of them always bring up your name. So for example, it'll be
I hope in a good way.
in a good way. Yes, absolutely. Because, they're talking most of the time it's usually when they don't know the answer to something, so if they're talking about something related to Star Wars and someone asks a question, and if the podcaster doesn't know the answer, they go, well, I don't know. I guess we have to talk to Alex and, or we'll go to Star Wars Explained to find the answer. So does that, do you feel pressure when that happens? I don't know if you are aware of that people are really relying on you to provide the answers to their questions, especially if they don't know the answer, they want to come to you. Does that cause pressure for you to know the answers all the time?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't really feel pressure hearing someone say on a podcast like, oh, we'll have to ask Alex, but there's definitely pressure to make sure that my videos are correct, especially to like put myself forth as like the guy who knows and or not the guy, the channel who knows, and that we talk about trivia all the time. So but we have people ask us trivia questions on streams, and at this point I feel like I've gotten over the anxiety of not knowing an answer. I feel like now especially people stump me more often than I get things right.
Yeah, because what we cover, usually it kind of morphed into more news and like current stuff. So then all of our trivia about, let's say, Star Wars Rebels, maybe we're a lot more rusty on that information because we haven't rewatched Rebels in a long time. So if it's something about the High Republic or the Bad Batch, we might know it because that's like more fresh in our minds.
Yeah. I mean, I think we obviously have a good general sense of everything, the whole universe, but yeah, whatever is on right now. It used to be that nothing was really on. And then they announced The Force Awakens, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna start doing videos now. But I didn't have anything to go off of for Force Awakens, so I was just talking about whatever, and it was a lot of just generalized Star Wars trivia.
Mhm.
But yeah, now there's so much coming out that just keeping up with that alone has
Yeah.
become a full-time job, and trying to dig into the past is a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it's like I think more of the pressure now comes from getting all of the information in your head. It's like reading all the books, all the comics, watching all the shows, and like keeping up to date for all that stuff. We're lucky enough that we get sent a lot of the books early to read and review, but it's still like constantly going, trying to keep up with all the content that we're getting, which is great. You know, it's keeping us in business. It's keeping us well fed for Star Wars content. But yeah, I think more of the pressure comes from that.
Yeah, I don't really mind anymore being wrong. I used to. It used to really bug me.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. All right. Well, let's talk about the Bad Batch a little bit. So we are actually at the halfway mark. So the last episode, as of this recording, was episode 8.
Probably when we release this, it'll be episode 9, though.
Could be.
Or it could be episode 16. I don't know when you watch this.
Depending on when you watch it, right? That's true. So the first 8 episodes, tell us about what's your take on what you've seen so far?
I am really, really enjoying Bad Batch. The first season, I was kind of like, okay, this makes sense to me. It's a spinoff of the Clone Wars. I'm really enjoying getting to know Omega. But with the second season, I think they're really digging deeper into the emotional connections of Omega, the Bad Batch, digging into all this about the clones and the future of the clones. I feel like it's a lot deeper stuff that they're getting into. So I'm really, really enjoying this second season, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. And I hope it, I haven't watched the Clone Wars since it came out. I watched it like years later, but now I feel like I'm pretty attached to a lot of the clones, and I'm worried about where this is going to all end up.
I think I feel a little bit of the flip. I really liked season 1 and season 2. There have been some episodes that I think have been the best of the series, and some of them I haven't liked as much. But man, when it's good, it's great. Like the Crosshair episode and episodes 7 and 8 were also fantastic. I liked the season premiere. Like, I'm enjoying all of the episodes, but I really like it when they get into what you said, the future of all clone kind, and everything that they did in the Senate the past 2 episodes was really good.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Celebration just a few minutes ago. We were there and we saw the trailer for the first time, and I recall everyone's reaction when we saw the Emperor appear in front of the Senate, and we of course didn't know why he was there, but now that we know, what did you think of his appearance?
Yeah, it was great.
That was such a great Palpatine moment, because we haven't really seen him in the Senate as Darth Sidious. He didn't even bother to like put some sunglasses on or put on a little hat or something. It's just that's
a little bit of lotion.
Oh yeah, because Lord knows he needs it. But that was such a cool moment to see the grasp that he really has on the entire Senate, the way that he took the truth and just molded it to exactly what he wanted to make happen. That was scary.
It's the first time we've been able to see Darth Sidious as the Emperor. Like we've always heard about how the Emperor leads the Empire. That's how it was in the original trilogy, but we never got to see him as the head of the Imperial Senate. So to get to see that, to see a literal like cloaked evil wizard in charge of the politics of this galaxy is something that I've wanted to see for a long time.
I guess everyone really couldn't get a good look at him because he's so far away.
I guess they all just buy the scarred and deformed lie, and
Yeah.
they're like, okay, well,
Right. And he kept the hood over his face very
Mhm.
close. You really couldn't see his eyes. Yeah.
Just try to get as little sunlight as
Right.
possible.
You just heard his voice. I think that's all people needed to hear was his voice. And okay, well, that's the
Like
emperor.
the hood gives it away because no one else in Star Wars wears a hood that far over their eyes.
Well, that's true. Right.
Right.
But as soon as he started speaking, okay, that's
I
Palpatine.
am Emperor
Yes.
Palpatine. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness!
Yeah.
But that's all we need to hear.
Do you have something?
Oh, what?
Do you have something that you want to bring up?
No, next question.
Okay, let's go to the next question then.
What Star Wars projects are you looking forward to watching, reading, or playing in the future? Personally, I want to play the Skywalker Saga. We just don't have a PS4, so I'm saving up to buy a PS4 for the family so we can play video games together.
Nice.
that's great. The Lego Skywalker Saga, is that?
Yes,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It
It's
is
very
really
cute.
fun.
because
And there's a lot
I
to
got the
do.
idea from your playthrough videos on the channel because I've seen you playing all the games, like the original Saga, like the complete Saga, the first 6 with all the old Lego characters, and the Force Awakens, and now the Skywalker Saga. So
The Lego games are really
They're
fun.
super fun.
I know what you're excited for.
Yeah, I'm also excited for a video game. I mean, we're weeks away from The Mandalorian Season 3. I can't wait to go back and hang out with Den and Grogu, but Star Wars Jedi Survivor is probably my most anticipated thing from this year.
Mhm.
I loved Fallen Order, so I'm excited to play the sequel.
Yeah. I think I'm the most excited for Mando season 3. Especially after the trailers and like TV spots that we've gotten, just seeing all those Mandalorians coming into this and seeing Bo-Katan. I love Bo-Katan so much. And obviously I have a lot of love for Grogu. There's about 1 million of him behind me. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into that world.
yeah, I'm actually quite surprised we didn't get a TV spot during the Super Bowl for the Mandalorian. Did
Good
we?
point. No, I didn't see
No,
one.
we didn't. They could have
I
at
didn't
least
see
showed
any
the
video.
old trailer.
They did put out a new clip,
Yeah.
like during the Super Bowl. It just dropped on YouTube, but yeah, we didn't see one
Oh, okay.
on TV.
Oh, speaking of which, did you see the new Guardians 3 trailer? And
Yeah.
the
Yes.
Flash trailer?
And the
Yes.
Flash and the Indiana Jones spot. I'm very
Oh, yes. I would
into
guess.
Indiana Jones.
Mhm. I'm a big Michael Keaton fan, so I was very excited to see the Michael Keaton Batman back on screen.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah.
Dad is intrigued. And usually that means one of us has to come along with them. So
Okay.
Dad wants to see the movie.
Well, yeah, I know. We're going off topic. We don't usually talk about DC, but I was impressed by the trailer. Yeah. Okay. Well, yes. Keep it to yourself.
Hat off.
Okay. All right. So
Good trailer.
okay. We're at odds with the trailer. All right. Let's talk about Celebration London. So first of all, congratulations. You're going to be on the HoloNet stage this year. Wonderful.
Thank you.
We don't know what
I don't
it's
know.
going to be like, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was going to be my question. I mean, what's going to be different? What's going to be different between now, the HoloNet stage in April versus the podcast stage last year? Do you know?
I wish we knew. We got the
okay.
email saying that they approved us to be on it, but I don't think we know any other details about what that's going to look like. But it sounds exciting.
Yeah, the initial email sounded pretty similar to the podcasting stage. I think I remember reading that they were just trying to open things up beyond just podcasters.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we are kind of a podcast, so we got on the podcast stage last year, but yeah, I don't know. It's called like the HoloNet news stage. So I'm wondering if they want us to cover specific reveals or pieces of news, but they haven't really said anything.
I'm hoping that it's something, because I feel like I heard this somewhere, that it's going to be a little bit more open, and the style of the convention, the HoloNet stage might be a lot bigger and in a more open area, so you're not kind of like stuck in a little room off to the side. But I'm excited to find out what that's going to be like.
That's interesting. Okay, that's pretty nice. I mean, to have it on a stage where you can have more people attending,
Yeah.
but it's a little intimidating as well.
Oh
Yeah.
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 It always is. I just turn my brain off and like pretend we're just chatting as normal.
Right. Well, best of luck to you. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Very
before
excited.
we go, since you're so good at trivia, I got Star Wars Insider magazine, so let's see what you know about Yoda.
Okay.
Mm,
And then we're gonna do a Mad Lib because why not?
fun.
Okay.
And you can answer these questions too. Do you want
Okay. I was going to ask, should I participate? But okay. Oh,
Yeah,
we'll
but I'm
let.
not participating because I know the answer.
Of course. Yes.
Which emotion did Yoda sense within Anakin Skywalker when the boy was first brought before him? A. Fear. B. Love. C. Joy. Or D. Humor.
Fear? I think it's fear.
Much fear I sense in you.
Yeah, he does a pretty solid Yoda impression.
So do I. Much fear I sense in you.
There it is. Perfect.
That's the answer.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
Where did Yoda spend his time teaching younglings until the end of the Clone Wars? A. Dagobah. B. Coruscant. C. Naboo. Or D. Kamino.
I'll give you
Oh,
that.
this is Coruscant. I thought they were going to go with the High Republic Starhopper, the ship that he was on with the younglings.
See, that's where our brain goes to what's the harder answer.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not that.
All right. What advice does Yoda give to Anakin Skywalker about those who transform into the Force? A. Miss them eternally. B. Do not mourn or miss them. C. Hold on to their memory. Or D. Feel despair.
I would hope it was B. Do not mourn them.
I don't know what that question was.
Is that the answer?
It is B.
B. Okay. All right.
Okay.
These seem pretty, easy. Anything a little more difficult?
Do you want me to skip ahead?
No, well, I mean, just see if you have something that's a little more difficult.
Fine. What did Yoda tell Luke he needn't take into the Dagobah cave? Needn't.
Right.
A. R2. B. A flashlight. C. His weapons.
Yeah.
Or D. His personal demons.
Well, that's what he found inside.
Yeah.
Your weapon.
Quite the contrast.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Weapons.
And the answer is
Yes.
you said weapons, right, Molly? Alex?
Yeah, weapons.
Weapons?
See, it's weapons.
Yes. Okay. All right.
What did Yoda's Force spirit destroy the library on Octo with? A. A lightsaber. B. Telekinesis. C. A large boulder. D. Lightning.
That one's
A large boulder would have been fun.
Yeah.
but-
Oh, that would have been so weird to just see Yoda kind of rolling a boulder and laughing wickedly.
but it's the lightning.
Lightning, yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Right. You got them all right.
All right. That was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Our job.
Yeah.
Well, the answers I think they're pretty straightforward. Yeah. Okay. And we now have Mad Libs, right? Have you ever played Mad Libs?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
been a
all
while.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go.
All right.
Okay.
First, I need a noun.
Lightsaber.
Adjective.
I have to remember what all these mean. Scary? Is that an adjective?
Yeah.
Scary.
Plural noun.
Porgs.
Food.
Ooh, food. Now I'm trying to think of a Star Wars food. Wookiee cookies.
I thought for sure you'd say polystarch.
Where did Wookiee cookies come from anyway?
It's in one of the Star Wars cookbooks.
Lego games.
I
isn't
like
it,
that
too?
though.
Yeah.
An animal.
Oh, already good one.
Can't say porgs.
Charhound.
Ooh,
Char.
That's
good one.
Yeah, that's from the High Republic.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that Belle Zetafar's pet?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good point. Very good. Yeah.
Color,
Purple.
food,
Polystarch. I'll take it.
plural noun,
Ewoks.
a verb,
Force push.
number.
Any number?
Yes.
Yep.
66.
Of course, you pick order
Of
66.
course.
A
Yes.
noun,
Droid.
person in the room.
Oh. Alex.
Oh, thank goodness. I was about to say not me. Type of building,
Temple.
occupation,
Janitor.
type of liquid,
Blue milk.
Classic.
and they don't have to be Star Wars foods. They could be foods from real life too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number,
Is that me again?
Uh-huh.
12.
I thought you were gonna pick 99 for sure.
Oh, that would have been good.
And a verb,
Run.
oh boy.
You're gonna give them the title, right?
I know.
Okay.
What can I get you? Good lightsaber. Welcome to Dex's Diner, the scariest diner in this part of the galaxy. My name's Flo. Today's specials are porgs with a side of Wookiee cookie soup, charhow burgers, and purple polystarch topped with Ewoks. You can even force push extra toppings for 66 more bucks. Are you visiting from the Cloud Droid? My pal Alex Calrissian just got back from there. Me, I prefer the comfort of my temple. Then again, I'm just a janitor. What do I know? Are you ready to order? I bet you're thirsty. I could go for a tall glass of blue milk right now, but my break isn't for another 12 minutes. Anyway, run me. What can I get you?
I'm sorry.
One
Run
lost
what?
my mind.
Run me.
Okay. All right.
That was fantastic.
I don't feel good about some of those dishes we accidentally made.
Yeah.
You made my food topped with Ewoks.
Oh, that's delicious. Okay.
Hey, yo.
All right.
I'm worried now.
No, that's fine. That's fine. All right. This was cool. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. So
it has been fun. So where can people find you?
You can find us on YouTube and Twitter and TikTok and Instagram at Star Wars Explained.
Yep. We're pretty much everywhere.
Just like us.
yes. All right. You want to go through where people can find us
Sure.
if you want.
So we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, Amazon Music, Good Pods, Overcast, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Father.Son.Galaxy. Website, Father.Son.Galaxy.com. And please check out our speaker page as well. And our merch store, Father.Son.Galaxy.mysprightshop.com.
Thank you. This has been truly a pleasure.
It's been a treat.
Yes, we
I was so nervous.
once again we're big fans of your channel. We've been watching it for many years. So we're just so glad to have met you in person. So glad to know you. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for having
Yeah.
us. This has been so fun.
Yeah, this is a blast. I have so much fun talking Star Wars with both of you. It was great to have you on our show. If people haven't seen that, Keith and Kerwin were on our season premiere for Bad Batch season 2, our live show where we discussed it, and everyone loved Keith's insights.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was absolutely
You know,
fun. Yeah.
as a child, it's nice that people view me as a person in the room and they don't say, "Oh, hush, child."
Good point. Yeah.
No one values your opinion. The adults are
They-
talking. It's adult time.
They do value your opinion. Absolutely. Yeah. That's wonderful.
That's the nice part about having this podcast.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad we have this podcast together. All right.
Upset.
All right. Pretty cool.
We're done.
Okay.
Psych.
See
Oh,
what I mean? Okay. See that? All right. You know, all right. Father and son. Okay. All right. That's pretty cool.
Buy me
Okay.
Lego sets.
Okay. That's how we roll here. That's how we roll. Okay. That's okay.
All right. So that's
Alex,
all.
yes, Alex and Mollie Damon. Thank you so much once again from Star Wars Explained. From Star Wars Explained. Thank you so much. All right, so that is it, everyone. So thank you for listening or watching this episode. Until next time, take care, and we will see you again.